Hi besties, Lexi Luxury here. How the hell are you? Welcome or welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are doing fairy aesthetic makeup. There's lots of little tips and tricks that I show you guys just to get more pointed features and how to make it look like you are a mother Tinkerbell. This video is sponsored by Miss A, so shout out to them. We're gonna do a quick little sponsor moment in a second, but before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on your post notifications. All right, let's get into it. Okay, besties, let's get into it. So I told you that this is sponsored by Shop Miss A. Let's talk about them for a second because literally when I tell you this makeup is $1, you heard me correct. Now, throughout the tutorial, I'm gonna be pointing out which products are from Miss A, but like I said, everything is $1. If something is slightly over $1, it's because they do donate to charity, which I think is super cool. But if you wanna go down a beauty retail therapy wormhole and you don't wanna spend a bunch of money, girl, Miss A is your place to go. And the products are actually good quality. You're gonna see me use them in the video, so I'll let you guys decide for yourself. But I'm sorry, makeup for $1, that actually is good. Does it get much better? The answer is no. The main reason I love Shop Miss A so much, aside from the obvious price point, is that every single product is cruelty free. This is actually, I wanna say, maybe my third or fourth time working with them. They are just so kind, so amazing. Every time I'm just shocked at the quality of their makeup and I can't believe that it's only $1. So yeah, you guys can shop all of the items that I've used today on shopmissa.com. I will link it down below so you guys can go crazy on there. But now without further ado, let's get into this fairy beat, shall we? All right, let's get this show on the road. I wonder how zoomed in do I want you guys? That seems good. Anyways, we are gonna start off with a Miss A AOA Studio product. As you guys can see, I already have my brows done. I have a full video if you wanna check that out, but we are gonna use the Oil Control Primer Spray from Miss A's AOA Studio. I'll take it out of the box here so you can see the actual packaging. I wanna see how this sprays before I just start going, oh, that's actually like a good mist. Oh, it smells nice. All right, so we're just priming our face. This has such a lovely smell to it. It's like floral, but not too overbearing. I don't know, I love it. And next, let's go straight into our foundation. I'm gonna use my tried and true NARS Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation. I'm in the color Syracuse. And for this specific makeup look, I typically don't use a lot of foundation. I just like to kind of dot around my face until I feel like I've gotten just enough to cover my face, not necessarily have a lot of excess product. I'm gonna blend this out with the AOA Studio F26 brush. I actually quite like this brush. It's nice and thick. I wasn't expecting that. It's better than the foundation brush that I was using, that's for sure. For the concealer, I'm gonna use the Stay Naked Concealer by Urban Decay in the color 40 NY. To apply this, I'm just gonna go right here in the inner portion of my eye, bring it down along the nose just a bit, going back in and then doing a nice sweep to get a good line that kind of just goes from my outer corner up, little bit on the tip of the nose here, and then a little stripe down the middle, and then I like to go right up here, and I love to go right in my Cupid's bow because it just brings my lips kind of more to a point. I don't know, it makes my upper lip stand out and I just love it, so just right here. But I like to start with the outer corners first and just kind of blend that out and making sure that that line is still really clean and extends all the way out into my hairline. And then I just blend it down into my foundation, not super far down, but we are gonna add some bronzer, so if you go a little bit too far, it's okay, we can fix it. And then I just blend out the inner corner portion all the way to the side of my nose and into my brow bone. And then of course, just like attaching that or blending that into the outer portion that we just did. I feel like when it comes to like fairy makeup, it's really like nice and sharp and pulled up, so that's what we're going for. And then of course, just blending everything else out as well. I like to blend this like top portion of concealer into my brows just to kind of give them a bit of an ombre effect. And then for a little strip down my nose, I just take my finger and blend it out that way. Same thing with the little bit on the tip of my nose. I want to keep it kind of in its same place, so I'm really just lightly blending with my finger. Now to set all of this, I'm using the translucent setting powder from Laura Mercier, just using the same brush, and we're essentially just gonna set everywhere that we applied that concealer just so it doesn't get cakey or whatever. So you can see I'm just tapping in the powder. I'm not really making any brushing motions. That's because we are still pretty wet, so I don't want to move around that concealer. Once I have the concealer all set and whatnot, I do like to go in with just a little bit of powder just to brighten it up. And you can see I'm focusing the majority of the product on this outer line that we made with the concealer. And then of course along the side of my nose just to kind of like contour it with the powder. Now it's one of my favorite parts. We are going to do bronzer. I'm using the Fenty Beauty Sunstalker bronzer in the color Cocoa Naughty. Taking an angled brush. This is from Sephora. It's in the number 49. I like to get quite a bit of product on here. And we're going to follow that concealer line that we did before. We're gonna stay on the outer portion, okay? We're not going to come in any further than the outer corner of our eye. And I do like to start pretty high. So right about here is where I will lay the product, and that's where I'm gonna brush. So it's like on top of my cheekbone. I'm not going below. I'm staying very carefully in this upward area, and it's just gonna pull up our face and make us look absolutely snatched. So I'm gonna turn to the side so you guys can see. When I do this, I like to stop. So I'll put a couple passes on and then I'll like stop and look at myself, make sure the shape is looking okay. You can always add more, you know what I mean? And this part just is really important to me for the overall shape of my face. This is how you transform into a fairy. You can already see the vision, okay? Trust the process. We still got a ways to go, but we're looking good. Just gonna do the same thing on the other side, get my forehead and a couple other spots. I do love a good bronzed forehead, so we're just going heavy-handed up here. Just a little bit under the nose to kind of like turn it up, get a little bit more of that fairy look. And then I take just a little bit on like the outer tip, I guess you could say, of this brush. You could definitely use a brush that would be better for this, but I'm just gonna use this one. I like to go under my bottom lip very lightly, but you know, you want to kind of keep it where you would put your lip liner. Yeah, another brush would definitely be better for this, but you know, just makes your bottom lip a little bit juicier. That's a personal preference. You don't have to do that. Then I take my big fat Real Techniques brush. I believe this is just their powder brush. Just blend all of this out. Oops, I forgot to do a little bit of bronzer down here under my jawline. I like to do this just to make my face look a little bit sharper, just to, you know, like I said, get those sharp fairy features. And then of course blending that out as well. We don't want a big line down there. And just a little tip, if you went a little bit too far up with your bronzer, you can take your little brush again that you had the powder on and the concealer on, and just very lightly kind of brush it away. I noticed with this translucent powder, it kind of just like rights all my wrongs. So it acts as like a little eraser. Okay, now we are at my most favorite part. Sorry, I'm trying to fix my ring light. There we go. Now is my most favorite part. For freaking sure, we are gonna do some faux freckles because, I mean, I'm sorry. How can we do a fairy look without faux freckles? I definitely have been doing faux freckles in like my daily makeup looks for a while, but this way that I'm gonna show you is the best way I have figured out. I'm diving into my Tarteist Pro palette by Tarte. You can obviously use whatever eyeshadow palette you have. So I like to take a little bobby pin and I go into this edgy color like so. I add a couple dots, just as long as they're somewhat close to each other. And then I take my finger and I press down, and then I just kind of like press all around. It kind of acts as a little stamp, and then you can see that's how, at least I think, freckles look when they're underneath makeup or when people have them naturally. They're kind of all over the place, you know, they're not very uniform, and it gives you those lighter dots as well just to make them look more natural. So you'll see I'm gonna do this all over, but I'm gonna do this right in this area. So on top of my nose, kind of down here, and then up a little bit. And don't worry if one's too dark, like that one's super dark. You'll see it's really easy to blend out since it is an eyeshadow. All right, and that is pretty much as much as I will do. Then I will take my little handy dandy brush again and just kind of very lightly brush over them. I don't want them to go away completely, right? So, and you can see they blended out so easily, and now it looks like they're natural. They're under my makeup, and that I just have a light foundation on. So cute, so cute. Guys, just wait till we do the eyes. This is gonna come together. Okay, before we do the eyes, we're gonna add some blush. I actually got this from Miss A while ago, and I think it's perfect for this. It's the Golden Apricot blush from the AOA Studio line. The colors to me in this just have such fairy vibe energy, so obviously we're using it. Taking a blush brush, I have no idea where I got this one from, but I do love the shape of it. Pretty much putting the blush exactly where we put the bronzer, but just a little bit further out. So I know we did the bronzer like all the way to here. We're gonna do the blush like a little bit further back. And obviously you can add more if you want to. Just kind of bouncing on this outer portion. And this blush has like a gorgeous sheen to it too. Then I'm gonna go in with another blush. This is the Milani Blake. This is the oh my god, I can't say it. This is the Milani Baked Blush in the color, oh lord, the color has gone. I've had this for years. It's got like really pretty pinky golden tones to it, similar to that last one, but not as like frosty. And we're just gonna go right over top. It's just gonna add a little bit more pink on top of the blush that we just used. So I like to just go a little bit, not a lot, just a little bit on the top of my forehead. And then this I feel like is what really pulls the look together, like right on top of the freckles. I like to go right here with the blush. I'll show you what I mean. So I kind of start up here on the nose, and then I grab the brush and kind of just drag it down that angle. Do the same thing over here. And I am not light-handed with this part. I find the more the better, so once again, we are gonna blend this out just a tiny bit. And if you want, you can like lightly dust the underneath of your nose as well. Yay, it's coming together. Okay, taking our big old blending brush again, and just very lightly, I don't wanna lose too much of the color, but just very lightly, maybe just like once or twice, going through just to kind of blend it into the rest of our makeup seamlessly, so it's not just like an obvious, you know, swipe of the blush. And voila, we're starting to look more like a fairy, you know? If you honestly wanted to leave the makeup like this, you totally could. This is actually the makeup look that I do if I am running errands, or maybe I am going out to dinner or something, but I don't feel like doing a full eye makeup. Maybe I'll do like a nice bold lip. So stop here if you want to, but you know I'm gonna continue, so let's keep going. I think now's a good time to get started on the eyes, and we can finish off with the highlight. I think that sounds like a good idea. All right, I'm so excited for the eyes, so I'm actually going to scoot you guys up a little bit and zoom you in so you can really see what is about to go down. So I'm grabbing the brush from Miss A's AOA Studio. It is the E142 brush. I like to take a little card. I have my little spa gift card, which I desperately need to use, but I just take it on the corner of my eye. Now I do have hooded eyes, as you guys can kind of see, so when I do wings, they have to be a little bit higher than normal. I'm gonna take my little card, and then I'm going to take the same exact eyeshadow color that we used for the freckle, and we just start creating our wing. We're just gonna go straight in here. I like to stop here and see what the angle looks like. Let's see if we can get this a little bit higher. I'm gonna move up the card just a little bit. See how it was here? I'm just gonna do this and see if I like this just a little bit better. Okay, so yeah, I like that second one that I did better. So I'm just gonna go in with a tiny little brush. I use this for the concealer under my brows, so I know that there's a little bit of product still on here, and I'm just gonna kind of brush it away. So now that's like more fairy-esque to me, the fact that it's just going up that way. For some reason, my left one always goes a little bit easier, so that's why I kind of like to start with my right one. And then you can bring in that liner as much as you want to. I just kind of like to stop right about here. All right, hopefully we can match the angle on the other side. If not, you can always just fix it with your concealer, no biggie. See, why does this angle always look so much better to me? I can never figure it out. Oh well. Just gonna extend it out a little bit more. Okay, yeah, so this is how I want it to look. So I'm just gonna bring this in ever so slightly. And honestly, if this eyeliner is messy, to me it doesn't matter. And now it is time to pick out our lashes. I did get 3 lashes from the AOA Studios collection. These are only $1.88 each as well, so they are a part of the charity collection. I'll show you what we got. So these are the Dallas style. These are in Seoul. I think those are the ones we're gonna use. And then these are in New York. These might be a bit too big for the fairy look, so I think these will be perfect. The 1652 Seoul. So I'm gonna very carefully take these out of the packaging, and I am just going to essentially cut these in half. The portion that I'm gonna use for my lashes is the inner corner to about the middle. So maybe even go ahead and overshoot it slightly. So this is where we're cutting. Hopefully you guys can see that. And then this will be our little outer corner lash. This is like the only way that I wear my lashes now. To be fair, this makeup look is like my daily makeup look as it is. So same thing with the other one, just snipping right there. Now for the lash glue, I did cop one from Miss A's AOA Studio. This is the Super Strip Lash Adhesive. We're just going to apply this to, I mean, y'all know where to apply lash glue. I don't know why I'm acting like you don't. Okay, while that lash is drying down and getting tacky, which we need to work fast, I am going to obviously put on some mascara. I did get the Fat Lash Primer and the Fat Lash Mascara. I haven't used a mascara with a primer in so long, so I'm intrigued. We're just gonna hope for the best here, you know? Oh, I can actually really tell that it's like hanging on to my lashes quite a bit. I would normally let that dry down, but for the sake of time and since we do have that lash just chilling with the lash glue on it, let's hurry up. Going in with the mascara now. Okay, wow. Okay, wait a second. Why is this $1 mascara getting my lashes taller than my $20 mascara? And even though we are putting lashes on, I do still like to get a decent height on my lashes, so that's why I did put quite a few coats on. Not bad, not bad at all. I do really like this brush too. It really helps me get like the singular lash hairs, if that makes sense. Okay. Time for the lash. Let's see how we do. Ooh, I think I'm gonna love these lashes. Okay, that's stunning. Every time I use a lash, I always wanna make sure that it does have like that fan effect or that cat eye effect, even if I am just using the like inner portion of it, because it just does help with that overall pointy, snatched look that we're going for. If I'm feeling a little extra, which when am I not, I'll take my lid and I'll kind of just like squish it over the lash band. I find this really helps with blending my natural lashes to the lash line. And then of course the most important part is that you want to make sure the outer corner is like pointing upward more so. Stunning! Okay, I'm gonna do the other side off camera and then let's finish up this look. Yay! I'm sorry, but is this like not giving you all the fairiness that you needed? Wait, it's gonna get better. What's a fairy without fairy dust? We gotta add our highlight. So this highlight that I have, I'm sure you can find something similar. It's from ColourPop. I have no idea what the color is. I got it years ago and there isn't even a color on the back of it, but I will show you what it looks like. It's very orangey. It's more of like a peach, actually. It's got really pretty flecks of gold. So if you can find something like this, that is perfect. We're actually gonna go in the inner corner of our eyes first, and that brush that I used earlier for the eyeliner would be perfect for this, but since it has that eyeshadow on there and I didn't clean it off, I'm just gonna use another similar one that I have. We're gonna just go straight into the inner corner. I like to keep my eye open, which isn't best if you don't want to get like makeup in your eye, but I find it gives me like a much cleaner area right here. When I have my eye closed, I tend to go too far like towards my nose and it just looks sloppy. So with this, I just kind of like go like that, if that makes sense. I go like from top to bottom. I don't like go out, I just go down. And it ends up giving me that perfect, oh, see, got powder in my eye. Beauty is pain. But how stunning is this color, right? And I like to be real heavy-handed with this just because I feel like this makes the look, especially with our fairy eyes and our snatched face. It just is the icing on the cake. Then I like to go, of course, on the tip of my nose, very carefully down the bridge of my nose. I love, love, love adding it to my Cupid's bow. And then I like to go on my brow bone, like the highest point of my brow bone. This just lifts it up a little bit. Ah, we're already looking so good. Then of course we have to get our cheekbones right. So following the top of where we put that bronzer, just adding a bit right there. And you can see our freckles are already starting to fade a little bit, but not too much. They're still like in the front and center, but they're also looking more natural because we did add a bit of makeup on top of it. Just brushing the excess highlight wherever I see fit because we are a fairy. We want to shine. If you really want, you can do a tiny bit of lower lash mascara, and I mean the tiniest bit. I don't like to get it like right on my waterline because I realize that makes my eye look a lot smaller, and we did do a lot of little tricks to make our eyes look bigger. So I just like to grab the bottom portion of my lash hairs, if that makes sense. So I'm not going into my waterline. I'm just like going down here. Very careful with this part because if you do get in your waterline, it's hard to get out. Beautiful. Okay, and the last part we're gonna do is our lips, and I'm just going to add a little bit of gel to my brows to kind of pick them up as well. Okay, so for lip liner, I'm gonna be using the NYX matte lip liner in the color Dainty Days, and I'm using this on the outer portion of my lip. And then for the inner part, I'm using the Milani lip liner in the color All Natural. Then we're gonna top it off with some gloss. I have two glosses here from the Miss A AOA Studio collection. They're both the High Shine lip gloss. I have Red Candy and Pink Balloon. Those are the color names. I'm gonna go with the Pink Balloon. I feel like that sounds very fairy-like to me. Although I guess Red Candy sounds fairy-like too. Ooh, this is like really glossy. Ooh, she's kind of thick. That's okay. We love the thickness over here. Just gonna... Okay, wait, I actually love this. All right, I took the headband off, so for the last little portion, we are going to do our brows. I'm just grabbing some Got To Be Ultra Glue Gel and just raising the top of my brow hairs very carefully and just kind of like setting them in place. Looks a lot better than that one, doesn't it? Okay, and that is the end of the video. I hope you guys loved this little fairy makeup tutorial. This was so fun for me to do, but like I said, this is like my daily makeup tutorial situation. Fairy aesthetic, Fairycore, all of that, like I'm just loving right now. So I hope you guys love this too. If you have any questions, then go ahead and leave them in the comment section down below. You guys know the drill. Before you leave, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on your post notifications, and if you made it all the way to the end, please hit that thumbs up because you are my kind of people and that will help my video out so much. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.